Honorable Minister.
Respected Sir, today I am especially thankful to all the Honourable Member of Parliament who took part in this particular discussion of the bill. Especially like Mohammad Said, Vishnu Prasad Tarai, Pratima Mandal, Kalanidhi Bharaswamy, Alok Kumar, Mathu Kumili, Sri Bharat, Birendra Singh, Arvind Ganpat Sawan, Rabindra Dattaram Wekar, Bhaskar Muralidhar Bhagara, Captain Pariyato Fernandes, Avijit Gangopadhyay, Gurumurthy Madila, Advocate Chandrasekhar, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Panigrahi, Sasitha Nanthan R, Rajaram Singh, N.K. Premachandran, Nisikant Dubey, Supriya Sole, Anil Desai, Darshan Singh Chaudhary, Sugata Roy, Hanuman Bariwal, Vishal Dada Patil, Hemant Vishnu Sharma, Salvaras V. Anand Bhaduria. So I am thankful to everybody. And this bill, as you have already, with your limited understanding, you have expressed your views. So, but let me tell you, हमारे देश के आदर्शवादी नेता, दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जो विजन है, उसी विजन को साकार करने के लिए आज देश में विकास के सिलसिले में जनता एकत्रित होकर लगे हुए है। जो मंत्र हमें परम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री ने दी है, रिफॉर्म, परफॉर्म, ट्रांसफॉर्म, उसी नीति के आधारित आज आप लोगों ने देखी है कि कैसे लेजिस्लेटिव रिफॉर्म्स, पॉलिसी रिफॉर्म्स, फाइनेंशियल रिफॉर्म्स लाया गया और जिसकी वजह से देश आज विकास के रास्ते पर तेज से चलने लगे। ये जो हमने आज बिल लाया, आप सबके सहयोग चाहते हुए इस बिल 168 years old, एक पुराना कानून जिस समय पे ब्रिटिश का राज थे, उसी कालखंड में अलग अलग देश में उसी देश का नाम के आधारित उन्होंने कानून व्यवस्था प्रस्तुत की। तो आज हमारी स्वतंत्रता मिलते हुए आप लोगों ने देखा है कि 78 इयर्स हुई है और 76 इयर्स एक रिपब्लिक होने के नाते हमें जो स्वीकृति मिली है, तो इस कालखंड में सबका ही मानना है, हर भारतीय का ही स्वाभिमान का सोच है कि हम स्वतंत्र भारत की कानून व्यवस्था लागू करें। इसलिए प्री इंडिपेंडेंस जो स्टैट्यूट है, उसका रिप्लेसमेंट और रिपील के लिए आज इस बिल लाया गया है। और इस बिल में हमारे जो भी स्टेक होल्डर्स है, खास करके शिपर एंड कैरियर्स, सभी स्टेक होल्डर का साथ एक्सटेंसिव कंसल्टेशन के बाद और जो लीगल एक्सपर्ट है सभी का साथ डिटेल चर्चा करने का बाद इस बिल को इस रूप में आप लोगों का समक्ष पे रखा गया है। तो इस बिल में खास करके हम लोगों ने जो सिंप्लीफाई की है ताकि ये जब अंडरस्टैंडिंग बने जो स्टेक होल्डर है उनके लिए समझ में कोई कठिनाई ना हो, और इसमें खास करके जो क्लॉज 5 में केंद्रीय सरकार को डायरेक्शन इश्यू करने के लिए जो भी प्रोविजन रखा गया है, इसका मूल लक्ष्य है हमारे जो भी स्टेक होल्डर है वो किसी भी हालत में दिक्कत में ना पड़े। और आज जो आधुनिक जगत है, एक ही शादी है, बढ़ते हुए चैलेंजेस के साथ और परिस्थितियों को साथ मुकाबला करने के लिए आधुनिक कानून व्यवस्था हमारे लिए बहुत आवश्यक है। तो इसके लिए ये फ्यूचरिस्टिक एक स्टैट्यूट है, क्योंकि अगले दिनों में जरूरत के मुताबिक टू फैसिलिटेट द स्टेक होल्डर्स प्रॉपरली वी हैव टू make the provisions. That is why this clause 5 has been brought. मैं आपको जो हमें सवाल की है उसी हिसाब से मैं आप लोगों को भी आपकी सवाल की जवाब देना चाहता हूं। जैसे मोहम्मद सईद जी ने जो कैरियर्स ऑफ गुड्स बाय सी बिल के बारे में उल्लेख किया, मैं कहना चाहता हूं दिस बिल बीइंग डिस्कसेस इज द बिल ऑफ लेडिंग बिल, नॉट द कैरियर्स ऑफ गुड्स बाय सी बिल। द बिल्स ऑफ लेडिंग बिल रिलेट्स टू द ट्रांसफर ऑफ राइट टू सूट एंड लायबिलिटीज टू कंसाइनीज एंड एंडोर्सी ऑफ बिल ऑफ लेडिंग। और प्रतिमा मंडल जी का जो सवाल थे उसी सवाल को मैं जवाब देना चाहता हूं। द पावर ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अंडर क्लॉज 5 इज लिमिटेड टू इशूइंग डायरेक्शन फॉर कैरिंग आउट all or any provisions of the bill. This power is an enabling provision with respect to only the provisions of the Act. The bill does not seek to change any existing provisions of the Indian Bill of Lading Act, which have been substantively retained in the bill with simplification of language. Therefore, the bill will not result in investor uncertainty. Since the bill only relates to transfer of right of suit and liabilities to consignee and endorsees, it does not relate to regulation of port and does not exclude state. ये जो आपका मन में जो शंका थी, इसी शंका का मैं जवाब दे रहा हूं। कलानिधि जी का जो सवाल थे, उस सवाल के जवाब में the bill of lading bill will not result into legal recognition of e-bill of lading. The bill of lading bill does not provide any legal recognition to e-bills of lading, which will require a detailed framework. Wide consultation का जरूरत है। अगर इसको लाना है, स्टेक होल्डर का साथ कंसल्टेशन जरूरी है, और IT का है, और फाइनेंसिंग लाइक जो भी इंस्टीट्यूशन है, डिटेल में चर्चा करना होगा। जब मत बनेगा तब इसको इसी हिसाब से लाया जाएगा। As it is evident from the current legal framework in other common law countries such as Singapore and United Kingdom that have come up with a separate legislation that provide for the legal recognition of e-bill of lading. और वीरेंद्र जी ने भी जो सवाल की है, द बिल ऑफ लेडिंग बिल ओनली रिलेट्स टू द ट्रांसफर ऑफ राइट, पहले भी मैं बोल चुका हूं, ऑफ सूट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज टू कंसाइनीज एंड एंडोर्सेस। इट रिलेट्स टू द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ कैरियर्स बिटवीन shipper and carriers, nor does it relate to safety of vessels. Therefore, issues such as insurance and freight are not relevant to this bill. Sir, the bill, Arvind Ganapat ji ka jo hai sawal, the bill under consideration is the bill of lading bill, not the carriage of goods by sea bill. Same question he also repeated. The Gurumurthy ji का जो सवाल था इस सवाल का जवाब यही है कि the bill does not relate to major ports for which other statute exist. और हमारे माननीय ससिथा नंथाम जी का जो थे, the bill of lading only relates to the transfer of right of suit and liabilities to consignees and endorsees. The bill neither relates to the contract of carriers between shipper and carriers, nor does it relate to the safety of the vessel. Therefore, issues such as freight are not relevant to the bill. N.K. Pramasandan ji ka jo thi, it will bring the law out of their pre-colonial mindset. That is the argument. Also, some new provisions have been added which are important for the smooth implementation and enforcement of the provisions of the bill, which did not exist in the 1856 Act. This is in line with the modern legislative drafting practices which will lead to a smooth implementation of the law. The power of the central government under Clause 5 is limited to issuing direction for carrying out all or any provisions of the bill. This power is an enabling provision with respect to only the provision of the Act. It is limited to the provision of the Act. Devising a detailed legal framework and the overall architecture for recognition of e-bills of lading needs a wide range, as I have already said. Supriya ji ka और Anil Desai ji ka जो सवाल थे, the power of the central government under Clause 5 is limited to issuing direction, as I have said already. Recognition of e-bills of lading needs a wide range of stakeholder consultation. The bill deals with specific aspect of right and liabilities emanating from the transfer of bill of lading to a consignee or an endorsee. The bill of lading is a legal document, not a contract. It's a legal document. It is only evidence of a contract. It is evidence of a contract, not a contract. The right and liabilities provided for are not directly emanating from the contract, but from the transfer of the evidence of the contract. Therefore, the bill does not contain any provision on dispute resolution or appellate mechanism. Captain Viriato Fernandez, the aspect of shipping and carriage of goods by sea raised are governed by other statute. Merchant shipping is governed by the Merchant Shipping Act 1958. Ports, state maritime boards, major port authorities are governed by other statute. This bill only relates to bill of lading. The provision of the bill are not subject to the quantity or nature of goods being shipped. So these are the kind of, response as you wanted to know from my side. And for your information, let me tell you, this legislative reforms is giving a very, very important kind of boasting to the stakeholders, particularly those who are involved in this particular trade, maritime trade, because we are to create an ecosystem which will provide them ease of doing business environment, and particularly clarity of the legislation. if they have the clarity of the legislation, then definitely they could also put their report with full of confidence. So that is why Honorable Prime Minister's vision is always helping the nation to grow faster. And whatever reforms so far have been brought to the country in the different ministry you have seen, in my ministry, if I want to glorify the success story, it will take hours. Since 2014, whether it is Sagarmala program or Maritime India Vision 2030 or Amrit Kal Vision 2047, in every sector you have seen what are the exemplary initiatives under the Honorable Prime Minister's direction and vision is taking place. As a result, it is giving a lot of boost and also for the faster growth of our economy. Just I want to cite out one example. In the national waterways, up to 2014, let me tell you one example, very exciting. This particular act was enacted in 1986, and since then, up to 2014, there were only 3 operational national waterways in the country. Altogether 5, but operational were only 3. As a result, and also the kind of infrastructures growth and also the growth of the national waterways, whatever effort during that time the respective government has taken, it is meager, only 1,480 crores something. But that is almost 1986 to 2014. You just count the years. But in the last 10 years, if you look at, you will see total expenditure in this sector for the making of the infrastructure facilities in the different national waterways, it is more than 5,000 crores. And the cargo handling capacity, that time it was limited to 18 million metric ton per annum, up to that moment. But in the last 10 years, it went up to 133 million metric ton. So that is the good story, success story in this particular sector. And look at the shipping and port, modernization, mechanization, digitization in the port sector. You have seen now JNPA has improved its capacity of container handling up to 10 million. First container handling port in the country who has attained this particular level of success. So this is happening only because of the Honorable Prime Minister's vision, honestly speaking. So there are many other ports coming up, even Paradip, Kandla, they are all going to become the mega port because of the cargo handling capacity increasing in a very faster mode. Of course, there are private and Vizhinjam is also coming up. These are in the private sectors, in the public sectors, then it's like port run by the state government, state maritime board, everywhere. The success story now creating special encouragement to the people of the country, and they are generating confidence in the mindset that yes, this country become self-sufficient, self-reliant, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and by 2047, no doubt about it, is going to be one of the top developed nation in the world. Thank you.
Very good.